Hello everybody, welcome back to Cannonball Cottage. Today we're going to be making a chili using green tomatoes. I'm on the green tomato run again because we've had so many green tomatoes this year. I just need to use them up, so that I'm making this chili. I usually use ripe tomatoes, and of course this time, so this is a new thing for me to try out whether or not the green tomatoes will work in this chili. So what we've got here is 500 grams of ground beef that I'm just going to brown off, and as that's browning off just there, I also put a little bit of olive oil in there, but maybe this beef has got enough fat in it to sort of fry in its own juices. Right, moving on, we have the green tomatoes that I've put in the processor and chopped up really finely. I've got some garlic, 2 cloves of garlic, we've got 1 onion, we've got 1 can of red kidney beans, we've got 1 sweet red pepper and also half of a yellow pepper. We have 2 heaping teaspoons of oregano, 1 teaspoon of cumin and 1 level teaspoon of chili. We've also got I've got 1 red chili and 1 green chili, spicy chili that I've chopped up, and I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to use, so there might be, depending on how you like your chilies. If you like them red hot, then by all means put all the chilies in, but you're going to just have to do it to taste. The other thing I haven't got at the moment is the salt. I'm going to put in about a teaspoon of salt in there. I'm also now going to put the onions and also the garlic. And this garlic always sticks to the bottom of the pot, doesn't it? Just what you don't need, but there you go. So we'll, as that's now browning off and these onions begin to sweat down. But as I said earlier, I don't know if you people out there have ever tried a chili with green tomatoes. I certainly haven't. I always use really ripe tomatoes. But this year, it's been very dull, overcast. They haven't ripened up, and we've ended up with a glut of these green tomatoes, and we've actually got some. We've actually wrapped some up individually in newspaper and put them in a brown bag, and hoping that they're going to ripen up, but that remains to be seen. We did that yesterday, and there you go. And it's now beginning to ripen up. I'm going to put these sweet peppers in. I've had those in a sieve because I'm taking these out of the freezer, and of course when you take them out of the freezer there's lots of liquid, and so I've had them sitting in a sieve to get rid of the moisture. But there you go, that's seems to be coming on okay. I'm now going to put the other ingredients, and there's the chili. So it's only a teaspoon of chili. As I said, you may want to put more. We've got the cumin. And we've got the oregano. And if you're lucky enough to find Mexican oregano, Absolutely brilliant. This is just the usual store-bought. Now anyway, I'm going to put in a dessert spoon of red and green chili. Put that to one side, and we'll see how that goes. We'll give it a taste. I said sort of already put the salt in. Again, you'd put salt into this to suit your own taste. And right, the next thing, obviously, is the tomatoes. And this is new for me, so let's do it. Let's see what this comes out like. In goes the green tomatoes. At this stage, I don't know if we will probably need to include some water. Now the thing I usually do is when I'm using ripe tomatoes, because there's quite a bit of juice in the tin, I use tin tomatoes to make a chili. And I'm in two minds whether I add some tomato puree, because I always add tomato puree to the chili, and I think perhaps if I do add tomato puree, I'm going to add a little bit of water to well, I might add the water to the tomato puree actually. So while that's just cooking away nicely, I'm going to mix that tomato puree with a little bit of I've just opened up a can of tomato puree and put it into this plastic container to preserve it. Just get the jug and we'll add a little bit of water, and then we'll add the tomato puree. Get a fresh spoon. Let's see how this goes. We don't want it watery, we want it sort of a thick consistency. Got the beans to go in. And just find my whisk. As I said, you don't want it a watery consistency. So far so good. I mean, that these green tomatoes have actually mixed in well, and it smells absolutely lovely. So the next part of this is adding the beans, the red kidney beans that have been drained off, and I wash them in cold water to get rid of any of that gunk that's usually in the can. And there you go. This of course will then need to simmer for a while, but oh, look at that. That's I'm going to add some of the tomato puree. We may well end up including all of it. As I said, so far so good. It's looking pretty good. I like it. I thought maybe the green tomatoes would really give it a strange colour, but it's I feel that they've mixed in quite well. I am going to add the rest of this straight in the middle. You never know, I might even add some more once it starts getting through. But we'll be serving this with rice, which is I suppose the usual thing, or obviously serve it with some tacos or burritos, make up a burrito with it. Well, I think that's actually turned out quite well. The colouring, as I said, I was a bit concerned about the colour, but it's actually turned out looking really good. There you go. We've just got to let this now to simmer away for 10 or 15 minutes, I suppose, and then it'll be ready to serve. Green tomato chili, wonderful. If you follow our videos, I mean, yesterday I made a green tomato and zucchini curry, and that turned out absolutely wonderful. The nice chunky texture, it was really, really good. A real vegetarian curry. So I thought today I'd give this a go, using a bit of the old ground beef and the green. You wouldn't even know, to be fair, now that I've done that, you actually wouldn't know that it was green tomatoes in there. But anyway, the most important thing is the taste test. Let's see if it's giving us the chili flavour and the taste that we're looking for. Here we go. It's quite sweet, believe it or not. For me, it needs some more chili. It isn't spicy enough. Let's give it another taste. No. It definitely needs some more chili. And just put the rest of this chili in. There you go. And also it needs a little bit more salt. See, the thing is that this tomato puree can actually turn it a little bit on the sweet side. I'm just going to put a little bit of black pepper in as well to give us a bit more spice, and we'll see how that goes. I'll give that a taste now. Get fresh but I think that's looking really good, considering it's green tomatoes. I'm very surprised. So, in our house, that won't be a problem at all. Any more green tomatoes I want using up, we'll be making a chili. Absolutely fantastic. And of course that'll be served with some boiled rice. Just ordinary boiled rice, not Mexican rice. But just ordinary boiled rice. And we'll finish it off with some coriander. I've got some coriander just there. Just going to give it a taste again. Oh yeah. Much better. Actually much better. Wonderful. So there you go. Look at that. Green tomato, ground beef chili. It's really, really nice. But it has surprised me how well it's turned out. It's absolutely lovely. So there you go. I'll just put a little bit of this cilantro or coriander whatever you choose to call it, on top. I'll just turn it off. I'll put it into the position where it displays best on the video, and there you have chili con carne, made with green tomatoes here in Cannonball Cottage in the afternoon. Hope you've enjoyed it. Bit of an experiment for me, and it seems to have worked out okay. If you have liked the video, give us a thumbs up, give it a share with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and make a comment, and I'll get back to you with any queries that you may well have. And so we'll see you again soon. Cheers everyone. Lovely, jubbly.